Good morning. Mike is on. Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 427. George is trying to stay awake, so I won't sing George a lullaby this evening to him. What's happening? Uncle Rich just tweeted at me, going live soon. Yes, 7 a.m. Here we are. We are live. Jenny says, as someone that has sold PWE for years, do you see more sales now with tracking being off PWE, or do you see the same? Excellent question to lead off. Today's You Pick the Topic. I did not come prepared this morning with a topic. I can always make stuff up, but I figured if the live chat, it's always fun when I just potpourri version of Hobby Evolution and the live chat kind of guides the conversation. That's always fun. So figure may as well make that the topic today. So we'll start with Jenny. What's up, Herman? Good morning. Just some regular business before we get into the topic, the You Pick'em topic. Yesterday I added 400-ish items to my eBay store. I did about 350 with the file exchange, and then I added a bunch yesterday morning just on my phone. Last night I had Herman and Ken on the big screen in my rec room, and I was listing cards from the couch last night. So about 400 new items, a little bit of everything, mostly baseball, all baseball in the file exchange update, and then some random stuff like the George Bush card that I showed on Twitter last night, and just some other stuff that I picked up over the weekend at the Madison Card Show. So go back, Herman and Ken, great show again last night. Check them out on 3B Collections channel. Yesterday, so that's what I did yesterday. I did shipping in the morning, and then spent the rest of the day uploading cards using file exchange and doing that. I thought about running to a Walmart or Target just to scope the retail card section at some of the other stores. I shared yesterday morning about the local, the nearest Walmart with what it had. But I figured I just want to get cards listed. Last week I didn't list much. And this is another thing that I just wanted to touch on. Because I did see this being brought up quite a bit over the last couple days. Ken mentioned it last night on their show. I think 1951 Bowman tweeted something out. I think his was geared toward ComC. Mine's obviously eBay. But sales were wacky this weekend, in about what I expected. Typically in my store, with what I typically have in my eBay store, my sales are down in November, December, and then the first couple weeks in January, it just kind of we start seeing this. And then by mid-January and once flagship, boom, then it kind of goes back up. But November, December, slow in my eBay history. Thanksgiving Day, though, Ken mentioned it. And I was like, about the same time he tweeted it, I was thinking it. We have this weird wavelength going. And because I kept getting notifications, item sold. It's like, it's Thanksgiving Day. And Ken was right. Ken brought it up that his sales tailed off in the afternoon. And that's pretty much what I saw. And I saw so many sales like by 1, 2 o'clock, they tailed off. So it's Thanksgiving night, and I checked my phone expecting to see, because I didn't have my phone on me. We had a big family dinner on Thursday night. I'm expecting to pull my phone out to all these notifications. Well, everybody else must have been doing the same with their phone in their pocket, not on eBay, because I didn't have too many Thursday evening, Thursday night sales. And then Friday, I'm thinking, hey, if I have, so now I have this false hope, because I didn't expect to see that many sales on Thursday. In fact, it was the highest sales I had in 2 weeks in my eBay store. So I'm thinking, hey, if my sales are like this on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, what are my sales going to be like on Friday? Wah, wah. Worst sales day. Black Friday was my worst sales day in over a month out of my eBay store. I was shocked. I didn't expect big sales. The sales from Thursday combined with Friday evened out to about what I expected for those 2 days. It came mostly on Thursday as opposed to mostly on Friday. I thought I was gonna have a big Friday sales day and a bad Thursday, and it was just in reverse. Saturday, Sunday were about typical, which I expected. So my sales through the weekend, about what I expected. Now, I also didn't add very many cards to my eBay store last week because I was preparing for the Madison Card Show this past Saturday. So now this week, with 400 listings added yesterday, I've got a lot of shipments today, but hopefully I can get 100 to 150 added. I can get 100 added in no time using File Exchange, using the scanner. You know, I can hammer out 100 listings in an hour. So, you know, I can make some time. The issue is it's not the actual listing, it's having those cards prepared for listing. You know, and some of them I have to look up comps. So there is a slowdown in some. Sometimes I can take a stack of, you know, say 2017 Bowman prospects. Okay, these are all going to be 99-cent cards. And boom, boom, boom. I can hammer those out in, you know, 145 minutes. But if I have to look up comps, or you know, if it's just a wide array, you know, a bunch of different sets, you know, I can't just utilize the copy and paste as easy as one set, one price. So, so yes, I expect to add many more cards this week. There's a card show in the Milwaukee area. The Oak Creek Card Show is Saturday. I had considered going over there because there is no Madison Card Show. I did not schedule a show this month, December. So so I thought, well, maybe, and I'm not going to the Rockford Show because I have a Club 400 event on Friday night, December 10th. Patrick Wisdom is the special guest. It's the Club 400 Christmas party, so I'm stoked. I'm probably going to be tired on Saturday morning, and I don't want to wake up first thing in the morning, drive to a card show, and stand around all day. So I just told the guys I'm gonna skip the show because I'll probably be tired. So I probably won't do any I probably won't hit up any card shows because this weekend I thought about going over to Milwaukee, and then I thought I should really focus on. I've added so much inventory to list that let's pump the brakes for a few weeks, get through December, and then January we can hit it back into full speed listing, buying, selling, and all that good stuff. So I've rambled for 8 minutes, and that wasn't the topic today. Was you're gonna pick, not me rambling on all morning. So let's go back to Jenny's first question in the chat. As someone that has sold PWE for years, do you see more sales now with tracking being offered PWE, or do you see the same? That's a great question. I don't think I'm seeing more sales because I have consistently sold PWE for at least 2 years now. I'm seeing more sellers. I think my sales are about the same from a per capita standpoint because I continue to scale up in my eBay store. So most of my additional sales, and it's hard to decipher, well, would this person have bought PWE 2 years ago, 3 years ago, as opposed to now? It's really hard to drill down and get that specific. So I continue to scale up and continue to add items. A year ago, my eBay store was averaging 2,000. You know, November 2020, my eBay store was averaging 2,000, actually probably, 1,500 to 2,000 items. Now I'm up to, I just surpassed 7,000. You know, 6 weeks ago, I was at, what was my listings? I was at like 3,000 6 weeks ago. So I've more than doubled my inventory. So I'm seeing more sales, but it's just because I've seen more, or I'm listing more. What I can attest is that I'm seeing a lot more sellers opening themselves up to offering PWE shipping because of the eBay standard envelope with tracking. You know, you're not seeing the hobby as a whole as divisive over plain white envelope shipping. than what we saw 2 years ago, where it was. And I think that was kind of organic. I think a lot of that was just more and more people started doing volume. I started doing more volume, and I was, trying to talk other sellers that, hey, you can sell low dollar cards. Like, it's not, I think there was this misconception that 5 out of 10, half of your sales were going to be item not received. And it's really not the case. It's like before all the issues with the post office, it was like 1 in 1,000 for me. Now it's a little more than that because of the delays. I'm sitting on like 3 from a couple of weeks ago. Hey, haven't got my card yet. Some it's one buyer. They opened up a case against me about a month ago. They bought 2 cards, 2 99-cent cards, claimed they didn't receive them. They claimed it within about 2 weeks, which, okay, I'll give you the refund. And then like a day or 2 later, they bought 2 more cards, 99 cents each. Guess what? 2 weeks later, they opened up another non-receipt claim. So before I refunded, I sent them a message. Hey, are you having issues with mail delivery? You opened up a not received case with me, a couple of weeks ago, and no response. So I waited several days, no response, close it out, refund, and block. That's a big red flag. No communication, big red flag. You're going to open up these cases and then not communicate. That's a red flag. So those are rare cases in the whole, as a whole. Those are rare. It does happen, and you see, I think that's where the misconception comes from, is when these happen, when we have people that are trying to work the system and take advantage of the non-tracking, we see that because we as sellers want to protect other sellers. JT, it's Triple Crown, does a great job. Frank Lubatti does a great job. Hey, keep an eye on this eBay, or block if you want. So we all look out for each other and try to snuff out these, potential scammers or outright scammers. Go to the blowout, type in a Google search. If you're, what I always do when I think there might be something amiss with a claim, I immediately go to Google and I type in, whatever their username is, eBay. And sometimes you'll pop up blowout forums, eBay block list, or bad eBayer. And it's like, okay. But if it's over 99 cents, $2, the typical PWE, values on cards, it's a simple refund and block, because I'm not going to go to battle over 99 cents or $2-3 and get and have a negative feedback from, so they have a leg to stand on, and you can't prove whether they got it or not, but there's some warning signs there. And so it's just easy to, suck it up and refund the $2 or whatever it is and block them. And hopefully, we weed out as many potential scammers as possible. But I think the tracking, Jenny, I think it has opened up to a lot more sellers now offering PWE. I don't know if it makes buyers feel better having that tracking. And it's really hard to kind of decipher. That's that would be a great Twitter poll question. Herman says, good morning. George says, if the Cubs made NFTs, would you buy into the initial offering I just did with my KBO team? That's another good question, because I'm not into NFTs. But I did get into Top Shot, and I'll tell you straight up, full transparency, and I said this at the time, I was only into NFTs and Top Shot NFTs for the flip. To me, an NFT, the Top Shot specifically, it's just a little video clip. Like, I don't care. I'll go to YouTube and watch the video. And I know I think that's like, those that are not in the NFT world, they just think it's a picture or a video. And I know it goes beyond that, but that's kind of my feeling. I'm not into NFTs. If the Cubs offered an initial offering, It kind of depends. I might be into it. It depends on what the NFT is, and it depends what the price is. If it's $500, no. If it's $100, probably not. If it's $20, maybe. I guess price has a lot to do with it, and if it's Clark the Cub, the mascot, I'm probably passing. If it's if it's player involved, or even Wrigley Field, or anything like that, I'd consider it. That's a great question. I'm curious, George, what you're curious, George. I'm curious, comma, George, what was the NFT that your KBO team had? I'm just curious what they offered, what their NFT was. But that's a good question, because I'm not obviously I'm into Cubs, but I'm not into NFTs. So there's Uncle Rich at home, since I got to take Dog for her shots in a bit. Thanks for jumping in the live chat, Uncle Rich. Herman's feeling a little better. Hope I didn't put my foot in my mouth. 3 weeks into doing eBay again. I have great days. Saturdays, those have been my highest in dollar amount sales compared to any day. Similar. Mine is very similar. The weekends always seem to, when I look at the chart, it's always Saturday and Sunday are up here. And then some of the other days are, I had a really good, yesterday was Monday, and I talked about, I'm just going to jump in. My weekend was kind of wacky, with Thanksgiving Day being way up, Friday being way down, and then Saturday, Sunday being average. And then, actually Sunday was really good. Actually, Sunday was my best day in, let's see, November 15th, in about 2 weeks. So I guess I kind of misspoke. My Saturday was average. So my Thursday was way above average for what I expected. Friday was way, way down. Saturday was average. Sunday was above average. And then Monday was pretty high. Let's see, how did it compare? It was almost double my sales from last Monday. And I think some of that has to do with I added so much inventory to my store yesterday. So from a buyer standpoint, I am buying way more now that people are selling dollar cards for real shipping costs, in my opinion. And that's a great point. That is a great point. I was never buying nothing for $5 shipping. There's a lot of like dollar cards, Cubs, that, I need for, completing a set or whatever. If I don't have it, or if it's, a prospect card that I would want it, and I would pay $1 shipping for it in a PWE. I would pay $1 plus $1. I'd pay $2, but I'm not paying $1 plus $4 shipping. I don't care if it comes in a bubble mailer, because it's a dollar card, and I do enough PWE that I know 99% of the time they do not get damaged. So hopefully people are coming around to that. I think it's just going to take a lot of time, and I don't think it's the tracking that is making people think twice. I think it's the whole, well, it's going to run through a machine and get damaged and all that. So, but shipping price does have a lot to do with it, where yes, I would probably buy more $1, $2 cards if that's what I'm paying, as opposed to another $4 in shipping. What's up, Zach? Good morning. That 70s Card Show is with us. Good morning. Cards are cards, but it sucks eating the shipping with these scammers. It sucks, even at 91 cents. The good thing with the standard envelope is if it doesn't show up, it's really easy to get it's not really easy. It's actually tedious. The insurance claim process is tedious. But it's super easy. I'm going to copy and paste in the chat, I am pasting, that's the claim form. And I have that bookmarked. So if a standard envelope, if you have to refund, if somebody opens a claim, say a standard envelope, and I've had this happen a lot, a standard envelope is sitting in Milwaukee, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it's been there for 2 weeks. The buyer says, hey, just give me my money back, just refund. And then 30 days, I think it's 30 days after the ship date, you can file a claim using the link that I just posted. And it's really easy, although you have to take like you have to upload a picture of like the claim itself, and I think a picture of the tracking. And it's been a while since I've filed a claim, fortunately. But I had some for like $8-10, and if it's $1 or $2 eating those costs, yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. But when it gets up to like $8-10, then it's like, okay, I'm going to take the time to fill out this standard envelope form. And I got my money back like the next day. So through this third party insurance, both of my claims went through. I've heard from other people that their claims, since it wasn't marked delivered, it didn't get there. They didn't get their money back. In both of my cases, I believe it was not marked delivered, and I still got my money back. So I think it's an ongoing. They're really tweaking the system. We're almost a year in, maybe a year in now. Yeah, use that claim form. I got my money, like I said, one day after I applied the claim, I submitted the claim, my money was in my PayPal account. And it does go back into your PayPal account as opposed to like your managed payments or wherever. So that tracking honestly doesn't do much for me. Yeah, the tracking really sucks. And the tracking, for those that aren't familiar, it's not done by the post office. So if you ask like a clerk, most of them don't know anything about it. And that's what I don't like is buyers don't know anything about it either. And they say, well, I went to the clerk and they said it's not a real tracking number. And so now it looks like you're trying to scam the tracking. And I don't like that, the, potential deception part of it. But it's a third party. And so the scanners are only at the sorting facilities. So when it says marked delivered, it's only delivered to your local sorting facility. So your local sorting facility might be 2 hours away, or how many ever miles away, and that's just kind of it doesn't, it's not marked delivered when it's put in your mailbox or your doorstep or wherever. So that is the annoying part, where it's not completely accurate, and sometimes it's extremely not accurate. Jenny says, agreed. Zach, from a buyer side, only thing it does for me is has sellers giving way better ship cost. Yeah, from a buyer standpoint, the tracking is, and that's the thing about some buyers who say, well, the tracking sucks. It's not for buyers. The standard envelope is for sellers to sell more, and for sellers to have that insurance backup. Now for a seller, there's really no. And Jenny nails it with the only benefit, the only true benefit for standard envelope tracking for a buyer is reduced shipping costs from a buyer standpoint. But for a seller, you can sell more, you can ship it for less than a bubble mailer if you didn't want to ship it with a stamp, and you're insured. So if it doesn't show up and you have to refund money, you will get your money back through the claim form. So there's a lot of benefits from a seller standpoint. From a buyer, you're saving some money on shipping costs. George says 3 of the legends in a pack of 5 for $20. Okay, that's awesome. So George is talking about an NFT that was offered by his KBO team. I would be into that. So if the Cubs offered an initial offering of an NFT, 3 of the legends in a pack of 5, so a pack of 5 NFTs for $20, I'm in. Totally in. I would buy that. I threw 20 out there for a pack. I would just be in because it's a low cost. It's first off the line. Sorry, Panini. It wouldn't be a gamble for me. It's just, hey, this is cool. Sometimes with Cubs stuff, I'll just buy it because, and I know I don't do that now that I'm starting a business and I'm 6 weeks in. I'm not as loosey-goosey with my money, with my Cubs spending money as I was, say, 6 months ago. But for $20, I'll throw $20 at an NFT. DR, what's up, DR? Morning, all. Bo, any advice on people who are thinking about starting an LLC for cards in 2022? My first Well, I'm gonna break this down. So first off, I would have a plan. Um, and whatever you're geared towards. Mine is so my strategy in my sales. I had volume, I had inventory that I noticed was selling. So my strategy a year ago, I didn't think I could do this full time. Um, then we hit that peak, and it's like, wow, this is awesome. And I'm like, this isn't going to last. But even now, we've seen a dip. I can still, if I continue to buy low and sell higher than what I bought it for, I can make this work. So have a plan and make sure the plan works. Find a niche, whatever it may be. It may be exactly what I do: buy collections and piece them out. It's a grind. If you don't want to spend that much time in it, if you want to flip, and I can't give advice on grading and flipping higher end stuff because that's just not. I have very very little experience doing that. But there's several ways to make money in the hobby, and I use air quotes because it's no longer a hobby for me; it's a business. But have a plan. Make sure the plan works. You don't want to just dive in and not really have a strategic plan of attack because it may not work. And then you're kind of running in circles, testing out different things and just throwing everything at the wall. I would say if it's something that you're considering, if it's a consideration, it's something you want to do. Make sure you can make money doing it. Make sure you like doing it. So that would be my first piece of advice. Do it from the side. I would have never jumped in. I would have never just quit my job and started selling cards if I didn't know what I was really getting myself into. Thanks to COVID, I kind of understood what it took, getting my prices down. What can I buy? What's selling? And I really, just kind of focused on what I was doing, and I was doing it on the side. It was a side hustle, and I kept scaling up to a point where, hey, I'm at this point, I can quit my job and I can sail on some of my hobby money. As I scale up, I can use this little nest egg I've built and just continue working my way up. And hopefully in a few months, I'll be outpacing my old salary. So that's kind of a piece of advice. Just make sure you have a good business plan. Once you get that, I would 100% talk to an accountant and line that up, because I would not be doing this if I didn't have a great accountant. So talk to an accountant, get your stuff set up. Now, I went and sometimes if you want to set up an LLC, I know there's what's the internet? There's a website you can LegalZoom or something. You can set up an LLC online. I actually got mine cheaper through a local attorney through a and it wasn't much, but hey, if you're starting a business, every dollar counts. So you might want to just price out attorneys that can draft that stuff as opposed to going online and using LegalZoom. So those would be my biggest tips. Just have a strategy, plan of attack, test it out. If you have a job, right now, do it on the side. Pretend it's your full-time job. And that's what I did when COVID hit and I was working from home and I had, a few extra hours a week to devote to selling cards as a side hustle. I started, and once sales started rising, I started to treat my side hustle as, okay, I'm dependent on this money. So I just had that mindset where this isn't a side hustle. This is, even though it wasn't, this is my full time. Like this is how I'm paying the bills. So try to get that mindset going as well. So going back to the chat, when mine says delivered in my mailbox, when mine says delivered, it's in my mailbox. That's interesting. George says, right, $4 each, super limited. Talking about the NFTs, only 805 packs minted. Zach says the only thing the tracking has done is encourage more sellers to go the route of PWE. I refuse to pay $3 to $4 on a card that's $1 or so. Absolutely. Rich says, I'm glad you constantly point out why, as a full timer, it's important to focus on money and not just collect. Thank you, Rich. That is, and Rich brings up a great point. I still collect Cubs cards. I'm still trying to reach 1 million, but I'm not going to card shows and picking up PC items. My focus, my main focus is I've got to make money. Like this now is paying my bills. Like I have to grind day in, day out. Once I get to a level where I'm comfortable, I'll be a little more loose with, and loose is probably a poor term, but I will be more open to buying cards. You know, at card shows in April, May, June, July, a Ron Santo rookie card or a autograph would come to my table. How much do you want for it? Boom. Yes, I'll do it. Now I'm much more selective on what I'm purchasing for my own collection, my own Cubs collection. Running a full-time business is a different mindset than buying, selling on the side. It completely is. It completely is. It's still a lot of fun, but it's a lot of fun in a different way. People at Thanksgiving, family was asking, well, what, is it stressful? It is. It absolutely is. Because now if I take a day off, if I take an hour off, I'm not making money. And that's what pays the bill. You're not going to a debt. You're not collecting a paycheck. You're not walking into work and you can't just sit at your desk and stare off out the window for an hour. Because if you're at home working from home as your own self-employed and you're staring out the window for an hour, that's an hour of lost revenue. So that's another thing. I mean, you have to like grind more than you've grinded before. And that's kind of how I'm wired. So I enjoy it. It is stressful. It's very stressful, but it's a different stress. It's stressful because I control it. Like I control the outcome. And it's not, my corporate office can't say, well, you lost money on this account, so we're going to take this out of your commission. And, oh, sorry, we didn't make enough money, so your bonus is cut in half this quarter. And I don't have to deal with any of that anymore. It's all the profit is mine. And, I don't have somebody above me deciding, where that ceiling is. It's breaking through that glass ceiling. So, Zach says, I normally get it delivered within a few hours of it hitting my mailbox. Talking about the standard envelope tracking. Jenny says, if opening a shop, I would think of all the bills of a storefront versus online. But hey, Bo, do you get to write off any of your internet costs, et cetera, for business? Yeah. And, I mean, there's so much that you can write off, especially when you're working from home. Now, do not listen to what I say because I know nothing about tax law, and that's why I have an accountant. I would recommend there's some really smart, and DR sent me a link to Mike Moynihan's Bench Clear Media they had like an actual tax guy on, and it was awesome. And he even says, but make sure to talk to a tax professional. So that's what I would say. Yes, there's a lot of things you can write off. But make sure you talk to an accountant to make sure it's on the up and up. You can't write off your entire internet cost. You can write off like part of your mortgage if you're working from home. Obviously you can't write off your whole mortgage. You can't write off, say you put 15,000 miles on your car. You can't write all that off because it wasn't all business. So there's a lot of stuff you can write off. But again, talk to an accountant to make sure you're doing it properly. They know the law. I've never done, I know there's TurboTax or whatever it is. I've never done my own tax. I've always gone to a professional. Even back when I was, just collecting a paycheck, didn't own a house, collecting a paycheck. That was it. I still went to somebody. At that time, I probably should have saved my money and done something, but I'd rather get it right and not get caught with hey, you did this wrong. Here's a $2,000 bill you owe the IRS, 6 months down the road when you're not prepared for it. So yes, talk to a tax professional. because in a lot of people say, well, it's expensive. Well, guess what? If you talk to a tax professional and an accountant, they guide you and they can save you a lot of money. So yeah, you may be paying them a decent amount of for their services, but you're probably making up for it by what you're probably more than making up for it by what they can save you. And I've in the talks I've had with mine, it's like, wow, I didn't know that. That's awesome. I didn't know that was a thing. But again, yes, talk to a tax professional. That's like my after you have your business plan and your strategy, go to an accountant, and talk to an accountant. DR says, I've been doing the eBay store for almost 2 years now, and I'm thinking about starting an LLC for my hobby store for the tax purposes and changes coming in 2022. That's a great plan, because those now it's going to be that limit's going to be $600. So that can be done in one sale or a few sales. That's a pretty low threshold. So that's a great idea. So yeah. Rich says, there's someone in our group I have this running discussion with. I bet you could figure out whom that is. I think I know who you're talking about, Rich. DR, I feel like I've been testing for the last 2 years. Even though it will be a side hustle, I think it could grow into a small business side hustle over time. Absolutely. And here I am doing this full time, and I'm still scaling up, and I've had some early success. And hell, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, at the height of the hobby boom in January, February, my wife would even say, because I share, I made more money this month than I did at my day job. Well, could you do this full time? No, 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 no. And that was just 8 months ago. That was February, March. But then all of a sudden it's like, I didn't like my job. And I wanted a career change. And let's work toward it. And so that's what I did. Let's see. So it absolutely can. It absolutely can. Even if you don't think you're in the right place, that right place and right time can come along. And if it truly is something that you would like to do, go for it. Jenny says, not asking dollar amounts, just percentage, if willing to share. Would you say between card shows and eBay, it's 50-50 or 75-25? I would say most of it is eBay. I'm selling quarter cards at and just for clarity, my card show sales are basically all 25-cent cards. So it takes a lot of 25-cent sales so most of the income is through eBay. So that percentage is probably 85% eBay, 90% eBay, maybe even more than that. Probably 90-10 on eBay as opposed to the card show, just because I have a dollar box and I have a quarter box, but it's now that I'm doing the math, it's the card show is insignificant, but I do 2 card shows a month. But the card show money is very insignificant. Basically, the card show money I make, I put right back into other dealers in buying bulk. So, whatever I sell at X card show, I'll walk the room, I'll buy more, and a lot of that stuff goes on eBay. The stuff that I, don't think will sell very fast, or just put it in the quarter box or put it in a dollar box. So my card show money, very insignificant. The more I think about the math, it's 90-10, 95-5. It's super insignificant. Peep says, where's the window? Rich says, I once did it wrong with self-file and got a lovely letter from the IRS, and they were asking for 5 cents. Yes, I sent them the check. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so I always go through somebody local. I did what's the main, their cookie cutter, H&R Block. I dated a girl whose grandma worked there during tax season, so we got like a break. So I went there a few years. Did local. I had a local guy who advertised on a radio station. It's like, hey, I need a tax guy. So I recorded his commercial, and then I called him, hey, I just recorded your commercial. I want you to be my tax guy. And actually, I continued using him until my wife and I got married. I would just mail him my stuff from Wisconsin. He was in Galesburg, Illinois, and 3 hours away. And I would just mail him my stuff, and he was my tax guy for 2 years after I moved to Wisconsin, maybe 3 years. The legal limit has always been 600. It just might be enforced more. Oh, so Rich, so $600 has always been the limit, but now PayPal and eBay are required to send the form at 600, where in the past, some states it's been 20,000. So eBay and PayPal would not send you that tax form. What is it, the 1099? Is it the 1099? So you would not get that until you reached $20,000, $20,000 in like 200 transactions or something. So now PayPal, eBay, these online, anything, they have to send that form at 600 as opposed to 20,000. So yes, it's always been the limit, but you haven't received the 1099. I need to get me more eBay listings going. Yes, but I presume you are also making money running the card show. I am. And again, it's a nice little extra boost. But eBay is still, yes. And yeah, all that money, that's all reported. Even if it's all cash, it's above board. I create invoices for all of my purchases and all of my sales from my card show, the cash sales, just so everything's accounted for. Diego says, I'd rather somebody else do my stuff, too dumb for it. Diego, everybody that's not a licensed tax professional CPA is dumb with tax law. Tax law is, fortunately, I didn't take, there was a tax accounting, in business school. And I had, like, just in my accounting classes that I took, I had classmates that were, accounting majors, and, just looking at their homework and listening to them talk about the tax courses they had to take, was enough to dissuade me from going that route, because I actually enjoyed accounting. I was one of the few people in class that really enjoyed it. It was very annoying at times if you're one number off and trying to spend 3 hours on one question, because you're trying to figure out where you made the mistake. But I enjoyed accounting. But I didn't take tax accounting, and it sounds like I made the right choice. I'm thinking of starting an eBay store, but wanted to wait till the first of the month, because why waste some of the month? Do they charge you upfront or after the month? I think it's unlike Sport Lots. I think with eBay, it's a 30-day clock, where it's not the first. Where I think if you started, so I guess today's not a good example because it's the 30th, but say you started like on the 16th, I think your window, your clock starts on the 16th. And so you're billed on the 16th of every month, because I think my eBay store is billed on like the 25th. Because I think I just had my bill come. And like Sport Lots is, if you started today, like you would get a bill for your fees. If you sold anything today, you would go into that highest fee threshold because you only sold, say one item in the month of November, and then your clock restarts in December. So that's why if it's the middle of the month on Sport Lots, you just want to put your store in vacation mode. It's different on eBay, where you have a 30-day clock. And you'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. 1099s were always supposed to be for 600. They were, but eBay and PayPal did not send them out until you hit that 20,000 mark. Diego says, my best friend is a CPA and doesn't want to do it himself. And that's funny you mentioned that, because one of my best friends, his dad was a CPA, and we're talking about school when I was in college, and I said I really like accounting, like it's my favorite class, and he just like with the most serious look, do not do it. So it's like, oh, okay. So that 70 show says you want to have a lunch date with the IRS, start accepting crypto. Yeah, I'm involved in crypto through Robinhood and Coinbase. But yeah, I don't accept crypto. I'm not down that road. I have a very small holding in crypto, just as kind of fun money, play money. I used to bet on sports, and now I trade stocks, and I'm having more success in the crypto and stock world than I was in sports betting. So my what money I reserved for my sports gambling is now into stocks and crypto. Does the 20K versus 600 thing start this year as in taxes? So it would be for your, it would start 2022 sales for 2023 when you file in 2023. So it takes effect January 1st, 2022 for the taxes. And I'm 90% sure that's how it's working. It's not in effect yet. Goes into effect on January 1st for your 2020 when you file in 2023 for your 2022 income. Diego, not sure if you stuck around last night, but thanks for the Brave set. What's up, Dan? Jenny says time to sell everything off in the next month. There you go. So that's what I had for today. I didn't have anything. You all had the great topics. I should just do every day. You pick the topic, and then I can just show up and read the chat. So I've got a lot of shipping to do today. Technically, the show was on, but I fell asleep with my 3-year-old on me. Today's Tuesday. I'm doing trivia tonight. So here's the thing. Me and like a bunch of husbands of my wife's friends, we started playing. It all started it's like 6 years ago, and it was me and my wife and another couple. They turned us on to trivia, and we went to this trivia place or restaurant for bar trivia. It was a lot of fun, and we did it for a couple of weeks, but we didn't like the announcer person, so we went to. There was a bar across the street that did it like on a different night, so we went there, and guess what? That lady was filling in, and it was like, oh no, she's following us. So then all of a sudden it just became like a guys' night. So like the wives did something and the guys did, and so it was a guys' night trivia. So my wife is doing a favorite things like the Oprah thing. So she's doing a favorite things party next Tuesday. And so it's like, well, I need to find something to do. And I wasn't reading the calendar right. I thought it was tonight. So last night I text the guys. I'm like, hey, who's up for trivia tomorrow night? It was just one other guy. So I went upstairs and I'm like, I guess it's just Zach and I for trivia tomorrow night. My wife goes, oh, you're doing trivia tomorrow. And I'm like, well, yeah, you have your party. She's like, no, that's next Tuesday. I'm like, well, looks like, but I think I may be hosting Hobby Hotline next Tuesday. I got to look at the calendar. So let's see. So, oh, by the way, Hobby Hotline tonight, Tuesday overtime. And let me go into the chat. So, tonight will be good. Mike Moynihan. I've been listening to a lot. DR, thank you for that link to Bench Clear Media, because I've really been enjoying Mike and Ty's podcast. I've been listening to a bunch of them recently. Chris Harris is on tonight. Drew Herndon. So that's tonight, and that starts at 8 p.m. Central. Let's see. And then the December schedule. So my next one is my next one is next Tuesday. So instead of going out for trivia, I will be on Hobby Hotline a week from tonight, December 7th. So I'll be on with Mike Moynihan. That's awesome because I've never really interacted with him. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think John and Drew might be switching out. So it's either John Newman or Drew Herndon with me next Tuesday. So that'll be fun. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for providing some awesome topics. Let's see. 14 watching live. Think the highest this has been great. Thank you. Time to get Charlie Chu out for her second vaccine. Thanks, Herman. Thanks, Rich, for watching. Thanks for chatting. Great topics. I appreciate it. Always fun. Back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.